We've been trying that for 2 years, and it's a waste of fucking time, dude. It's completely fucking bullshit. We don't need it, man. Lithuania is ready to deploy troops in Ukraine to train the AFU. That's coming from the Lithuanian foreign minister.
So you mentioned training mission, and I can tell you that Lithuania is ready to consider being part of a coalition of the countries that could be led, for example, by France or any other country that could perform the training in territory of Ukraine. Would not consider that an escalatory move. That would not be combat mission, but that would facilitate that the training is done more effectively, closer to where Ukraine needs the troops, logistically more simple, and provided.
Think about this. They could essentially just train these troops abroad, right? It doesn't matter that it's close to the front, because if you have a constant flow of troops, they could be trained wherever. And the logistics simply doesn't matter. It just becomes a matter of doing the logistics. Right? You have a flow of troops going to Lithuania, and they come back to the front, shortening that. Travel time doesn't matter, dude. So why the fuck does Lithuania want to have trainers in Ukraine, dude? We all know why that is. That's because they want to escalate and participate in the conflict. That's what this is. Hey, Dankly.
Additional defensive support to the troops who would be doing the training. In addition, it would provide additional security and support to Ukraine itself.
Yes, it's completely. Hey, Maya. Privet. You're right, Dankly. It's an obvious escalation move, dude. And it comes in coordination with news about NATO making waves about sending trainers to Russia, and then this, right? It's clearly fucking coordinated, and it is a fucking escalation. And they're gonna be there in combat positions. We've already seen trenches littered with French troops. The CNN did an article about the Ukrainian mobilization, and they chose the Da Vinci Wolves Battalion recruitment office in Kiev. Wolves Battalion is a unit formed by neo-Nazis and far-right militants named after white supremacist Da Vinci, who was killed last year by Russian troops. Whoops. No Nazis in Ukraine. I remember this guy, dude. I remember this fucking guy. Was he killed, dude? That's right, Dankling. It's coming to an end, though. But we're gonna see a shit ton of desperations before, though. Spanish Labor Minister Díaz.
Hoy celebramos que España reconoce el Estado.
What she's saying is, today we celebrate Spain's recognition of the Palestinian state, but we're not going to stop there. We will continue to insist that our government has a duty to protect human rights and to end the genocide of the Palestinian people. Palestine will be free from the river to the sea. That's what she said. I'm not sure if there's like elections going on in Spain, but let's hope this is something. SpaceX is spending enormous resources to counter Russian efforts to suppress the Starlink network in Ukraine. Elon Musk said on social network. I don't think they are doing. I don't think they're doing shit. Elon Musk is trying to make it a thing on Twitter, saying that SpaceX is less interfered with than the others, and it's not, dude. It's the same. All of them are equally interfered with, dude. He's just lying. Hey, stop animal, what's up? Take a look at this. We talked about this briefly on Discord. This is the pier. The American floating pier collapsed and drifted away due to bad weather. This is very satisfying. This is so satisfying. Silver, are you here? This is very satisfying, dude. American engineering bad boys. I get it, it's not easy to make a pier like this, but it's still funny. She was up for presidential election but lost. Then we got Kallas, the Estonian prime minister. What's she talking about? She's talking about Russia. Don't worry about Russia's nukes or some bullshit.
Russia's defeat is not a bad thing because
Remember, boys, Russia's defeat looked like this: Luhansk going back to Ukraine, Donetsk going back to Ukraine, Crimea going back to Ukraine. But that's not enough for America. Putin needs to be overturned, right? So all-out nuclear warfare. That's Russia's defeat, right? That's not a bad thing, yeah.
and there could be really
She's been saying unhinged shit for a fucking year, dude. She's completely fucking unhinged.
a change in the society, and there are many different nations right now part of Russia as well. I think if you would have more like small nations, it's not a bad thing if the big power is actually much
Oh, we need to decolonize Russia. It's not a bad thing. Yeah, except if you're Russia. Hey, our enemy is losing. That's not a bad thing. Fuck off, dude. The enemy has nukes. Pathetic bitch, dude.
smaller. So
They're talking about decolonizing Russia. I was working on something else, Salman. I got my own project that I'm working on, dude. Teo, have you taken a look today? Next UK government faces hardest physical challenges in 70 years. Good luck. Take a look at this. This is Moscow, I think.
На ВДНХ появились клумбы композиций
Ah,
от каждого региона
the voice
России.
was annoying, but the video is
89
cool.
штук. Итак,
Moscow.
что придумал? У Петербурга
You know, Russians are super glad for like the fountains,
и
though.
очень классные рыбки.
Click, look,
Практически
Teo.
единственный подвижный объект на фестивале.
Maya.
В Рязани воздушные шары. Они на выставке везде с этим символом.
So-called Russian opposition living in Lithuania is already not the first time doing forums on topics of decolonized Russia. Exactly. I remember. There's Rand reports about it, dude.
Северная Осетия Алания привезла все свои
There's Rand reports about decolonizing.
солнцем древнюю крепость и скалы. У Татарстана очень яркие глянцевые тюльпаны. У Хабаровского края ажурные хвосты гренландских китов.
I have not, Dangly. We've been looking at also, you mean the replacement for Ursula? We should be following that, dude. We should be following that. I don't know why. Basarov. Scholz was called to allow the Ukrainian armed forces to use German weapons to strike Russian territory. It's about protecting the Ukrainian population, so we shouldn't prevent Ukraine from using the supplied weapons to defend itself from Russian fighters in Russia's airspace. So international law allows a state on attack to attack military targets in the aggressor's country. This is part of self-defense. After all, the Russian army shells the Ukrainian city of Kharkov day and night from its territory, including with glide bombs, which only takes 40 seconds to hit. So now they are allowing, Germany is allowing Ukraine to hit into Russian territory. So Crimea, Belgorod. And this is not the only country that's talking about this. Britain, France, Estonia is talking about this. They're doing it in coordination as well, though. It's clearly coordinated. Hey, Citizen X. I don't think Russia needs it, though. We just need, like, trade. So we covered some of this. This was a mall in Kharkov, I believe. We covered this a few days ago. I'm just going through some older videos right now. So this is a mall in Kharkov that was hit, I believe, a mall. But you can hear second detonation from this. So I forgot the exact details, but an ammo depot was here, dude. And you can clearly hear the you can hear it now. Second detonation. It's Melitavalas. The nuclear icebreaker Ural had to give way to a polar bear. What the hell? It looks angry, dude. Have you seen these videos where they like feed these polar bears? I feed them. It's very funny. Zelensky fabricates fake reality, attempting to brainwash Russia's allies. Mad Vlad says fuck the facts and tries to convince Kazakh journalists none of your countries have a strategic alliance with Putin. You're all CSTO members on the Russian attack.
Союза с Путиным не может быть ни одной.
None of your countries have strategic alliance with Putin.
Вы все под ударами. 100%.
Yeah, what about CSTO?
Сегодня ОДКБ и так далее.
Actually, an opportunity to influence you. What? Yeah, but what?
Возможность
What, dude?
Ваши страны сегодня не влияют на политику Кремля и на Россию. Россия больше и экономически, и вооруженно сильнее, чем ваши страны. А это всегда для них возможность, максимальная возможность ограничивать вашу...
I wonder if the CSTO comes with like a contract that you need to buy Russian weapons dangling.
В любом случае это так. И поэтому я считаю, что эти связи ваших государств на уровне лидеров с Россией именно из-за того, что они пытаются балансировать. Они пытаются, как бы, они боятся.
It's not an argument, this thing that they are afraid, dude. It's such a pathetic thing to say. What about Georgia? Parliament overcame the president's vetoes and adopted a law on foreigners. Has Georgia already been declared tyranny, autocracy? And yes, they have, Clicklock. Georgia has been condemned by the EU. And Georgia is gonna be sanctioned for being anti-democratic. Viking. I don't know if you know about this, dude.
Right.
This is COVID. This is supposedly in the hospital.
What you got?
Do
Well,
not
I've got it.
move
It's
the drink.
fine. It's fine. It's
The
fine.
drink's behind you.
Viking.
Okay. Right.
Rewind it.
That's it's just this bit. It's fine. Well, a little bit.
Yeah, so that is more interesting.
What's his name?
Henry Dine.
Henry Dine. Let's have a look at. Put it into Google. Oh,
On BBC.
Henry G.H. Dine. What could he be? Let's have a look. Oh, award-winning crisis actor, Henry Dine. What a man. There he is there.
What you got?
It's almost like he's been paid to pretend he's got COVID and he's on the telly. Well, shiver me timbers.
Are you having the bag on me?
No, not at all. What?
Is Henry Dine?
Does it say at the bottom this is only an acting?
No. He's pretending to be real.
So what do we got here? Taiwan. Boeing. What's going on here, boys? Fucking stay up, man. The 25th of May, a reconnaissance aircraft of the US Air Force flew over the Japanese Kadena Air Base to the Yellow Sea in order to reconnaissance the activities of the Chinese armed forces and monitor the progress of the preparation for the testing missile technology in the PRC. America's afraid, boys. America's afraid. So take a look at this. Since October 7th, we have 8,855 Palestinians kidnapped. That's in 7 months. That's over 1,000 per month. The reason we say kidnapped and not arrested is that the Zionist detention centers provide not even basic human necessities and prisoners of war rights. This includes food and water, minimum healthcare, transparency, yard time and cell space, etc. Multiple prisoners and released prisoners have been martyred after being subjected to physical and mental and sexual assault, including female prisoners and medical negligence, and have living in the worst conditions. Zionist forces raid houses every night, terrorize civilians, kidnap mostly ex-prisoners, with no charge or trial, and all means of communication and visitation are blacked out. Even Zionist military prisoners of war, called hostages in the media, while Palestinians are prisoners, are living in better conditions in Gaza town despite their own Wehrmacht bombardment. So we got some videos here, boys. These kidnappings. Remember, sometimes we see these kidnappings and then later we see like mass graves with these people. Very despicable, boys. The Ukrainian armed forces shelled the village of Oktyabrsky in the Belgorod region, killing 2 people and wounding 10. So, another civilian area shelled in Belgorod. I'm not quite sure what this is though. Is that a mall or something? There's some exhaust there. I don't think that's a mall, dude. I think it's something else. I'm nervous about that. We got rapper Nicki Minaj arrested in Amsterdam for alleged drug possession. Where's the tin? This is news for him, dude. The rapper was told that all her luggage needed to be offloaded from the plane and searched.
Tell me again.
The police officer told me we have to offload all the luggage.
Okay.
And to search everything
Okay.
of your luggage. I'm so sorry to say that.
But isn't that what you planned on doing from the get-go? Why didn't you guys search it before it went on the plane?
They did just a random quick check, but now they want to open
Why?
it. And first of all, because you filmed him and he was like...
Because I filmed him. Where am I going?
Right.
For what? For what? Why am I going here?
Hello.
Yeah.
You're under arrest. I'm the police officer. I'm the deputy of the public prosecutor. We were bringing to the police station. Yes?
For what?
You can go because you are carrying drugs.
I'm not carrying drugs.
Okay, but it's not a question here. I think it's.
I'm not
smart to
carrying
go
drugs.
inside.
Number one, when I came here,
Yeah.
the
Okay,
back.
you can go inside.
No, I'm not going in there. I need a lawyer present.
You will get a lawyer. It's
No, I
problem.
need a lawyer present now.
Okay, please.
Where am I going? I have no idea where
You
I'm
have
going.
to go to the police station.
What address is that?
It's 5 minutes away.
It's
They
5 minutes
texted
away.
it.
What's the address of the police precinct?
When you will catch your next show, we have to do it very fast, and we will help. But
You're talking about my show?
yes,
What about it?
yeah, we
He
talk.
said they will help to try to get you there.
They'll help to try to get me to my
Yes.
show.
So you can
How?
get out very quickly.
To do it as soon as possible. But we can.
What am I doing? What am I doing? I
You
never
are
gave
under
anyone.
arrest.
I never. So I'm under arrest.
Yes.
But
Yes.
under arrest for what?
Okay. Stop
Dog.
filming now.
Fucking drugs.
I'm under arrest for what?
Okay.
Do you
Stop
know what
filming
happened
now.
when I came
You
here?
have to go inside.
Huh? What you said?
Can you please stop filming? Please just step in the car for us.
No, I need a lawyer, because I don't know where I'm going.
You will get a lawyer at the office. You can contact the lawyer.
Where was this again?
Step in the car, then it will go as fast as possible.
And who's going in this vehicle?
So please step
You
in
will
the
go
car.
with.
Where was this again, boys? Amsterdam. Yes, sister. Schulz, no. Germany Vice Chancellor Robert Habeck. Famine, Palestinian suffering, and attacks in Gaza contradict international law. Israel has crossed borders and must abide by international law. We cannot imagine an attack on Rafah without significant human losses, and we will not allow such an attack to be carried out. That's coming from Germany. Yeah, someone. Jesus, dude. And we got a guy here, Walter Bayer. I don't know what this is about. Talking about Ukrainian conflict.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bayer, for this direct address. Let me get back to
I don't know, Alex.
defense that you seem to have very strong views on. You advocate for negotiation between Ukraine and Russia. How do you...
Yeah, peace. That's but you can't talk about peace in the West, dude.
negotiate with someone who's bombarding a neighboring country?
First of all, we are for a ceasefire, and we want that the European Union plays a political role in finding a solution, a diplomatic solution, because I don't see a solution for the conflict taking place on the battlefield.
But do you think that Russia is interested in diplomatic solution?
We must put.
They've done it plenty of times, dude. That's Minsk 2, the 2021 peace treaty, the 2022 peace treaty. How much more do you want to?
Pressure on Russia. China must put pressure on Russia.
This is happening. The European Union is putting pressure on Russia, or is it not?
Obviously, the European Union does not take any effort in mediating a political solution, trying to find a diplomatic solution. After 500,000 dead, when will this end? We must put an end to this terrible war in order to create a safe and prosperous Ukraine.
Did you see the guy interviewing? Yeah, but how are you going to put pressure on Russia? Russia?
In the future.
Let me get to another very important point. You oppose NATO expansion, but NATO has been the backbone of European security since the Second World War. That you know.
How did they defend Europe? How have NATO ever defended Europe, dude? Remember, NATO was funded by Nazis, dude.
Talk about.
Look at that fucking Kobo. Walter Bayer seems okay. Palestinians doesn't urge to finish this war. What do you mean, Rangers? Every peace treaty Hamas has said yes to, Israel has declined. What do you mean? Yeah, what is the options, dude? So what you're seeing is Israel is genociding the Palestinians, not Hamas. And the Palestinians can do nothing other than cry for help from the international community. And they're doing that. In fact, the Palestinians are doing everything they can to try and stop Israel. And that's by asking for help from the global community. And they're doing that. That's why you have European countries recognizing the Palestinian state. It's not about Hamas is not doing this way. This is Israel. That's the problem. Hamas is not genociding the Palestinians. Israel is. Palestinian children were injured by Israeli bombardment in Rajit refugee camp. Look, I want to show you something. Look, she has like holes in the back, dude. I wonder if that's like fucking fragments or something. I don't know, maybe just like scratches, I don't know. No, there's nothing to do with Hamas, Rangers. Nothing to do with Hamas. Hamas said they would lay down their arms for a two-state solution. And Israel said they're just going to bomb Palestine even more. So we know it's nothing to do with Hamas. Israel has been killing the Palestinians before the existence of Hamas. So we can completely ignore Hamas. And I've been telling you this for 2 months, Rangers. Why do you keep continuing this dumb talking point that is non-existent at this point? We know it's not about Hamas. We know that's an Israeli lie. So why do you keep repeating the Israeli lie, dude? It's a lie. That's why Israel is ignoring all peace treaties, all discussions, all possibilities of releasing the hostages, because they don't care. We know that, dude. A Stop Genocide banner written on the Palestinian flag has been placed on the field in San Mames Stadium ahead of the UEFA Women's Champions League. Stop genocide, there it is, dude. Did you hear the response from the audience, dude? EU is complicit, dude. The EU is complicit. Yeah, that's not true. That's not true. Hamas said they would lay down their arms for a two-state solution. Israel doesn't care. Hamas has accepted every peace offer. Israel has rejected them. No, it won't. Palestine will still be occupied, Rangers. You're building, in fact, the last 7 months you have been building more settlements in the West Bank. How are you gonna get rid of those? How are you gonna stop that, though? You're all anti-Semites, Trump's British police.
Why haven't you rushed them? To have this discussion. Is anybody else in cuffs? Is anybody else in cuffs?
We're not going to have this discussion anymore.
We'll
We'll speak to you about this in the police station. Okay?
So the police apprehended a man claimed to be a former Israeli soldier who assaulted and verbally abused Muslim women on the London Underground yesterday. Rangers, we are interested in stopping the war, yes, but we're also interested in stopping Israel occupying. But Israel has shown no sign of doing either. Israel doesn't care about Hamas. If Hamas left Gaza, Israel wouldn't stop. Because Hamas have given in to everything, and it doesn't matter. Israel doesn't care, dude. Israeli occupation authorities closed the roads leading to the Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood in occupied Jerusalem to celebrate the Jewish flag Baruma holiday.
يا شباب بخصوص الشيخ جراح يبلشوا يسكروا فيها.
Stop doing shit like this, dude. Stop doing shit like this. Syrian First Lady Asma al-Assad is a survivor of breast cancer.
من لما تم إعلان
She's very pretty, dude.
خبر إصابتي باللوكيميا.
She's very pretty.
كثير من رسائلكم المليئة بالمحبة والمساندة واللي عطتنا كعائلة مزيد من القوة بهذا الظرف. وأي حدا بيخوض معركة مع المرض لازم يمتلك القوة والإرادة، مو بس ليتغلب عليه ولكن ليتحمل بعده عن الناس اللي بيحبهم وملتزم بخدمتهم. وأنا هاخوض هالمعركة متسلحة بالإيمان والثقة المطلقة برب العالمين وبدعائكم ومحبتكم. بشوفكن عن قريب.
Very cute as well, it seems. Yeah, occupation is war. I'm respectable. Viking. The moment of the arrival of the epicenter area in Kharkov. I told you earlier about the mall that was used by Ukraine as ammunition depot. This is when it was hit. Boom. Oh, oh shit, dude. And you heard on the video earlier that there was a lot of secondary detonations too. Ukraine cried about this, said there were civilians everywhere that got killed. Look, there's an extra explosion there, dude. But there's more than that extra explosion, there's like many of them. It wasn't good before the war, Rangers. In 2009 you did the same thing, in 2014 you did the same thing. Every 5 years you go in and mow the lawn and kill thousands of people in Gaza. 2023 was the worst year for the Palestinian kids. I told you this before. And you've been killing people in Gaza since its existence. Israel has a starvation policy on Gaza since 2007. The people in Gaza has been starving for almost 20 years because of an Israeli policy. I told you about that as well. Why do I have to repeat this? Why do I have to repeat this? Because I told you about this before, Rangers. And you know about this. The people in Gaza, they don't live a free life, dude. They've been starved since 2007. Yeah, they got killed, dude. They got sniped. They got massacred. In 2009, there was a massacre. Hospitals got bombed. White phosphorus used against civilians. Children got burned alive. Same thing in 2014. Like I told you, it happens every 5 years, dude. They go in and kill a bunch of civilians. This is nothing new. What we're seeing in Gaza is nothing new. It's just more of what they have been doing for 20 fucking years, Rangers. And you know this. Why are you lying all of a sudden? I know where they kill civilians. Refi. They bombed hospitals in 2014. They have bombed every single hospital in Gaza. Every single hospital has been bombed. We saw bodies of infants burnt to death alive by white phosphorus in 2009 and 2014. It's all very well documented. They were not happy in Gaza before. The people of Palestine are resilient. But they're still living under occupation. Brutal occupation where they get bombed all the time. Burned alive all the time. And you know this, Rangers. How are you lying, dude? Take a look at this.
How old are your granddaughters?
They are 6 and 8.
Would you support them to get hormone blockers to become the other gender?
I would absolutely support them to get hormone blockers. The idea of one of my granddaughters learning that they're going to start having their period if they don't get their hormones blocked, even though
PPG, you need to do more cases, dude. It's important, PPG.
they're identifying and portraying as a male. How horrible that would be. So yes, definitely.
If your granddaughter came to you and wanted to get a tattoo, what would you say?
That would be more difficult. I always told my 3 sons the one thing I ask is please don't get tattoos.
Really? Why tattoos?
There's just something so permanent about it.
Permanent?
It's pretty permanent. It's very difficult to get them lasered off or removed.
You don't think it's like permanent to change your gender?
That's where 2 old fell apart, dude. No, there wasn't a million rockets, Rangers. I know the casualties of the Hamas rockets. Hey, Cat Cube, what's up? Very funny video. Yeah, she did. Rangers, I know the casualties of the Hamas rockets. It's 69 in total. But you killed tens of thousands of people in Gaza. And remember, Palestine is legally within their right to resist. Maybe these rockets wouldn't go at you if you stopped occupying, right? PPG, fucking cases, though. No, I don't want to get unbanned, dude. I'm okay. Exactly, Cat Cube. This one doesn't give a shit, dude. She just want to be with the gang on behest of selling her children, dude. There you go, Refi. UN Special Rapporteur Francesca Albanese. This one is really good. I've shown you her before. Member states must impose sanctions, arms embargo, and suspend diplomatic and political relations with Israel till it ceases its assault. She's really good, boys. She's really good. Rangers, the argument is that if you occupy, you're going to get resistance. Stop occupying. The rockets you're receiving from Hamas, it should happen. These rockets should happen. It's legal. It's legal for Palestinian resistance to resist. And that's what you're seeing. You wouldn't be receiving these missiles rockets if you just stopped occupying. So I've already given you the solution. So what you do, Israel is occupying, then you get resistance, and then you go in and kill more Palestinians, and then you occupy more. That's what we're seeing. That's the pattern. You occupy by killing Palestinians. You force them out by force, right? By killing them, and brutalizing them, and raping them. And then when they resist, you do it even more. That's what we're seeing, Rangers. And that's why Israel will never survive. This is not some sort of threat or something. This is like a prediction. Because Israel's behavior doesn't match the New World Order. Look at the Red Sea. You have to play nice to pass through, and the West doesn't play nice. And Israel doesn't exist without the West. Remember, Rangers, you have been bombing Gaza for decades. And it has not worked. Palestinians are still resisting. So what you're saying is a way to stop that. It's not working. So obviously that's not why you're doing it, because it doesn't work. Right? Israel has doing brutal occupation for 80 years. Okay? So we know what doesn't work, and you keep doing that. So Rangers, we know what Israel wants. They don't want peace. They want brutal occupation, because that's what they're doing. Israel always starts the shooting ranges. They always do that. Even on October 7th. That was Israel. What you're seeing is a response by Palestine. But Israel is occupying. That's why it's always Israel starting to shoot. Always. Yes, I did, Cat Cube. I saw the footage from Rafah last night. It is very horrible, dude. Burning kids. Burned alive. Mothers screaming, dude. We also saw they bombed Rafah again today, CatQ. I reaffirm Pakistan's strong commitment to the just struggle of the Palestinian people and lauded ICJ decision to order Israel to stop its assault on Gaza and Rafah. We hope the oppressed people of Kashmir will receive similar attention from the international community. Pakistan, so this is notes from Twitter. Pakistan government have banned all pro-Palestine gatherings and attacked people trying to raise their voice in support of Gaza. X is also banned to stop news reaching 250 million via social media. They control all TV channel content. Even a Palestinian flag can't be shown. Oops. It's always Israel that starts shooting ranges. I explained that. We got a guy here saying his opinion about Stoltenberg, I think.
Stoltenberg сказал, все уже, вся мощь, соответственно, которую они могли им поставить, она уже приехала.
All of the military power that they could have given to Ukraine has already been received. Okay.
На Украине она есть, как тут на фронте это воспринимается, потому что придется потом противостоять этому всему там.
Что такое Столтенберг? Да, это такой Столтенберг. Рэпер какой-то, что ли?
Lolcat Cube. Who's Netanyahu? Exactly, Shant. Statement by Hezbollah. Whatever, dude. I'm gonna move on. I think this lady fucking died. The Honorable Lady Hassan, the mother of His Eminence, and the Secretary General of Hezbollah, Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah, has passed away. I think she passed away of old age. I think I remember doing. I'm having. Sometimes I don't remember at all. Click-lock. We haven't seen any North Korean shells. We saw one picture of North Korean shells, but I don't think North Korean shells has arrived at the front door. What is this, boys? I'm not sure. Whatever. Massive rally for Gaza is taking place in Istanbul. Where is Furnace, dude? Such rhetorics was have a go. When support was paused for a couple of months, the latest rhetoric changed. That we need to send troops to training. Yes, definitely we should. They're always looking to escalate, though. They're always looking to escalate. We got a survivor from this valley bombing. This is in Paris. Fuck that, I don't want to show that, dude. Gaza Sea.
Gaza's sea. Unlike any other sea in the world, the sea is not only for leisure. In the past, people would flee to the sea from the summer heat amidst the constant power cuts. She is the only lasting refuge for the inhabitants of the Strip. Today, within the shadow of the Israeli war, the situation has not changed much, for the sea is the refuge for the displaced escaping the tense hell. Every morning...
Remember what Fuad said, that he's never been to the sea.
Thousands head to the sea, especially in the southern and central areas of the Strip, for a breath of fresh air or a swim may alleviate the tense, suffocating heat in the summer season. Even if they are forced to go there, it does not mean that it is a safe place for the occupation's army, and missiles have targeted it multiple times, and they have killed hundreds of civilians on her shores.
Told you, Rangers. Fucking told you, dude. Take a look. I showed you this earlier. This is Erdogan. This is his bodyguards, right? They're giving him water, but he doesn't want the water. Click look. He's very paranoid. He's very fucking paranoid. You don't know what this means, Refi? This means that he's very afraid of the CIA, dude. He's very afraid of the CIA. That's his son, I believe. But that's his son. So the son gives him the same water and he drinks it. Very paranoid, I think. I can only imagine that this shows that Turkey is somewhat not with America. Message from Yemen.
أنا آمل من الصين، من روسيا، من مختلف البلدان، الدول الشرقية، الدول الآسيوية، الدول الأوروبية، مختلف الدول، أن تتفهم أيضا الإجراء فيما يتعلق بالنقل إلى بقية الموانئ الفلسطينية المحتلة لصالح العدو الإسرائيلي، وأن تكف عن النقل، أن تكف عن النقل، لأن إجراء بلدنا وإجراء من دافع إنساني وأخلاقي وديني، وعلى الكل أن يتفهم هذا الإجراء من مصلحة كل الشركات التي تتبع لكل الدول أن تتوقف عن النقل لصالح العدو الإسرائيلي، سواء باتجاه البحر الأبيض المتوسط أو في أي اتجاه، أن تتوقف عن ذلك. ونحن نحرص على أن نوصل إليهم هذا الصوت، وأن يتفهموا هذا الإجراء، وأن يدركوا أنه إجراء إنساني أخلاقي، وأن يتجه الجميع للضغط على العدو الإسرائيلي لإيقاف جرائم الإبادة. إجراء إنساني.
I'm fucking nervous about this, boys. Let me just turn off the video.
الجميع للضغط على العدو الإسرائيلي لإيقاف جرائم الإبادة الجماعية ضد الشعب الفلسطيني في غزة، وأن يوقف التجويع والحصار للشعب الفلسطيني في غزة.
I like fucking dead children everywhere, dude. So, boom, 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 boom. A Ukrainian shell destroyed an apartment in a high-rise building in Belgorod. A column of smoke rose to next to the house. Belgorod attacked again. This is 1 day old or something. Putin on the growth of defense industry output. What he's saying is, our volumes have grown recently. Over the last year and a half or 2 years, during the Special Military Operation from 2021 to 2023, these figures change constantly. They are growing. The growth has more than 22 times for missile and artillery weapons, 15 times for electronic warfare and reconnaissance, 14 times more for ammunition and weapons of destruction, 7 times for vehicles, 6 times for individual armor protection, 4 times for aviation equipment and unmanned air vehicles, and almost 3.5 times for armored vehicles. This is a good pace and large volume. I would like to thank you for it. Okay. That's a very big... where is combat, dude? This is data for Sibiruska's phone. The obvious is conveyed from the ground. The U.S. State Department condemned the adoption of the law of foreign agents in Georgia, and the United States decided not to laugh here, to introduce visa restrictions for those who adopted this law, for members of their families. comprehensive cooperation between Georgia and the United States will also be reviewed. They can't do shit, dude. They can't do shit. Very funny, Clickline. There's nothing they can do. Just give me a quick moment, boys. I'm just doing something. They can't do anything. Clickline. It's very funny, I feel like. What are they gonna do? Fuck off. What? Stoltenberg.
I think that the time has come for allies to consider whether they should lift some of the restrictions they have put.
Again, coordinated talk about hitting in the way of Russia, territory of Russia.
On the use of weapons they have donated to Ukraine, because especially now when a lot of the fighting is going on in Kharkiv, close to the border, to deny Ukraine the possibility of using these weapons against legitimate military targets on Russian territory makes it very hard for them to defend themselves.
So to be clear, you're asking the US to lift the restrictions on the use of American weapons over Russian territory?
I believe the time has come for allies to consider whether they should lift some of the restrictions they have imposed on weapons.
Can you explain why, dude? What is the benefit and what is the risk?
Donated to Ukraine, because we need to remember what this is. This is a war of aggression by Russia against Ukraine. Ukraine has the right to defend themselves, and that includes also striking targets on Russian territory. Some allies have already lifted those restrictions, allowing to use their weapons against military targets in Ukraine, and I believe the time has come for other allies to consider this.
The UK has effectively lifted the restrictions, and it is the US that's really the single most important one.
I think what we see now demonstrates the need to reconsider those restrictions, not least because we have fighting going on along the border between Russia and Ukraine.
What do you mean, though? Well,
especially in the Kharkiv region. What
do you mean? Can you just can you just use the weapons in the front line, dude? What's the issue here?
The front line and the borderline is more or less
the better spectator.
And then, of course, if you deny Ukraine the right to hit military targets on Russian territory, then you make it very hard for them to uphold the right for self-defense. This is self-defense. Self-defense is enshrined in the UN Charter. It's legal, it's legitimate, and we are helping Ukraine with upholding that right, and that should include.
Is that when you're hitting Belgorod, dude, and the Crimean Bridge? The Crimean Bridge has been deemed a civilian target.
Ability to also strike targets on Russian territory.
Yeah, he is Norwegian.
There are military legitimate targets we're talking about.
Pathetic, dude. Use the fucking weapons defending Kharkov instead. Why don't you do that? Take a look, this is some weird shit, dude. So Japanese wearing traditional clothing are being harassed by tourists. Is this in Japan, dude? This is so weird.
You can't do that! You can't do that! Oh my goodness. That's so rude!
Yes, that is rude, dude. That is very rude. I don't think she cared about that. Take a look at this. This is Hebrew media showing the Ukrainian war, okay? Israel Channel 13 news reports on the war in Ukraine. The footage is from Star Wars. Lol. Fucking lol, dude. What is this? I think this is from Taiwan, boys. Meanwhile, in Taiwan, they're testing and practice the hypothesis that when traveling circus car breaks down and it gets stuck in populated areas, Ukraine begins to form around it. Maidan. They're testing Maidan in They're testing Maidan in Taiwan, dude. Toms. I don't know what it says, dude. Some celebrity is bored.
感动，感动。好，走走走走，开心了。好可爱，小心啊！Go go go！ 3。
Dear Taiwanese friends, I came from Ukraine.
Oh shit.
To support you because Taiwan stands with Ukraine, and we need to defend democracies. Because you know that Russia is trying to destroy my country, Ukraine. And Russia is not alone. Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, they want that Ukraine never exists. But we have our language, culture, history. And also like you Taiwanese, Taiwan is not China. Taiwan has his language. Taiwan has his culture. And we in Ukraine feel your support. I'm thankful to all kids here. I'm thankful to all young generation, elder people, because we all stand up against authoritarianism. We remember Soviet Union, when Soviet Union wanted to destroy Ukrainian nation.
What? America's gearing up for something in Taiwan, boys. What is this? Taiwan Civil Defense Force. US troops in Taiwan in full alert. China surrounded the rogue province of Taiwan and all its islands for its what they call punishment drill. While Finland has signed a DCA agreement with America, which allows the presence of US troops and designated some military sites that US can use for specific purposes, nothing has been decided about any troops deployments. Most NATO have similar agreement in place. I think this is the point, is that American troops shouldn't be in American troops shouldn't fucking be there, dude. Oh, it's about this fucking Finland, dude. Look. Same shit, but about Finland, dude. US deploy military forces to Finland to preparation for war with Russia. It's the same photo. Fuck off, dude. A hero takes a tank by himself, fearless resisting the Zionist aggressors. I'm not sure I can show this footage, boys. He's still alive. Got some sort of flare. I don't know what that flare is too. I don't know if he's there's some sort of flare. I don't know if that guy fucking makes it, dude. I don't think so. So this is going viral inside the enemy colony, not because they're calling for an end to genocide, but because the threat of military coup seems imminent. What?
לא מתכוונים להעביר את המפתחות של עזה לאף ישות, חמאס, פתח או כל ישות ערבית אחרת. חיילי המילואים מאחוריך ואנחנו רוצים לנצח. יש לנו הזדמנות של פעם בחיים. יש לך 100,000 לוחמי מילואים שמוכנים למסור נפש בשביל עם ישראל. מוכנים למות. איבדנו הכל, איבדנו את החיילי משפחה שלנו, איבדנו את הפרנסה שלנו, ואין לנו לאן ללכת. אנחנו נשאר פה עד הסוף.
We have nowhere to go.
עד הניצחון. יואב גלנט, אתה לא יכול לנצח מלחמה. תתפטר, אתה לא יכול לנצח את המלחמה. אתה לא יכול לפקד עלינו. והנה אני מודיע לך, אדון יואב גלנט, אם אנחנו לא נלך עד הניצחון, 100,000 חיילי מילואים יישארו על הגדר, לא נזוז מהגדר. אנחנו נשאר פה על הגדר, אנחנו נקרא לתושבי מדינת ישראל להגיע לעזה. ותחת הבטחה שלנו, ואנחנו נקשיב למנהיג אחד, וזה לא שר הביטחון וזה לא הרמטכ"ל, זה לראש הממשלה. תחשבו טוב טוב למי אתם מתכוונים לתת המפתחות אחרי זה. אנחנו רוצים ניצחון, האחים שלנו לא נרצה מי שתקליט.
Just some cringe bullshit, dude. That's some cringe fucking bullshit. Russia makes artillery shells 3 times faster, then 4 times cheaper than the West. Oh shit, dude. Artillery ammunition is being produced about 3 times faster by Russia compared to shells made by Ukraine's Western supporters, and at a quarter of the cost. Sky News has complained. Russia's military industrial complex will produce about 4.5 million artillery shells this year. I think it's way more than that, though. Lviv. Nazi flags all over, dude. Iran's Khalil A-Fars anti-ship ballistic missile. Okay. Yes, the UPA, the insurgency army, and Nazi army. These anti-ship missiles, I wonder how long the... okay. These are quite big, dude. These are quite fucking big. Very interesting. We got some videos from the PLA. I think I showed you this, like an animation about Taiwan. I'm not sure how relevant it is, dude. I think a news agency in China made this video. I don't think it's like official stuff. I showed you this earlier.
همزمان در 2 نقطه دیگر ایران موشک‌های جدید سپاه برای حمله به این هدف آماده می‌شوند. این موشک‌ها همچون عماد و قد با تغییر در بدن و ساختار کلاهک باعث افزایش برد و دقت اصابتشان شده.
ما اگر خودمون رو قوی نکنیم، همونطور که دور اطرافمون رو دیدیم، کشورهای مختلف اینا لگدمال میکنن. رژیم مثل این امروز خیلی ضعیفه. در این مواقع هم باید مراقب بود و ما این مراقبت لازم رو داریم انجام میدیم.
هدف این موشک‌ها اما شبیه‌ساز پایگاه هوایی پالماخیم، محل اصلی استقرار جنگنده‌های F-35 رژیم صهیونیستی است. که همین چند وقت پیش نتانیاهو در مجدد از لفظ حمله به ایران استفاده کرد و گفت چه کسی گفته ما به ایران حمله نمی‌کنیم. پایگاه پالماخیم شده انفجاری.
I don't know, dude. The PLA will use Iranian tactic on Taiwan, destroy the military airbase from safe distance, reduce them to ruins. After complete air superiority, achieved is just repeating the same but with cheaper standoff bombs. I don't know why they were referring to Netanyahu in this video. Ukraine's long-range glide bombs blunted by Russians jamming. US supplied glide bombs in Ukraine keeps missing. Russia is jamming them. But what about Elon Musk's Starlink satellite? What about? Yes, it is, we said. Yes, it is. Budanov dreams of destroying the Black Sea fleet of the Russian Navy. The head of the Ukrainian main intelligence directorate said that he collects models of destroyed Russian ships. Okay. Yeah, everyone will fight. Ukrainian men weigh their options as new draft law comes into effect. So, what, dude? The AFU fears that tougher mobilization will not affect the situation on the battlefield. The shortage of personnel in the AFU is having a devastating effect on the battlefield. After tightening mobilization, Ukrainian officers worry that they will now have squads full of people who are only there because someone forced them to be there. AFU commanders say recruits are untrained and leave their positions during combat. More and more Ukrainians intend to bribe their way out of the country if they receive a summon. The publications claim that CNN that lowering the mobilization age to 25 is unlikely to make a big difference because of Ukraine's demographic problem. That's CNN, boys. Hey, Sticky. Israel runs for cover amid resistance rockets. This is Tel Aviv. You got resistance rockets coming in, dude. We got a small section that I want to show you from Mick Wallace and Claire Daly and Alexander Mercury's about the IMF, which is looting Ukraine. Okay, this entire video exists in full on YouTube, which I have not shown you, but it exists in full. It's 1 hour long, that's why.
You're colonizing the place. You're going to own it here. And now, as if that's not bad enough, when the IMF gave them a loan in 2021, one of the conditions of the loan was that Ukraine changed its land purchase arrangement. At that time, foreigners couldn't buy land, so that was dropped. So then large corporations from Europe and America could buy lots of 25,000 acres at a time, 10,000 hectares. At this stage, European corporations have bought more land in Western Ukraine than the Russians have taken on the east side. We're saddling them with a debt. It's a debt trap that they're never going to be able to pay back.
Exactly, Wisdom. There's also Dupont. I forgot the fucking names, dude. Russia is, but we all know this. Russia is producing artillery shells around 3 times faster than Ukraine's Western allies, and it's about a quarter of the cost. Lol, I showed you that. Schulz opposed giving Ukraine the opportunity to strike Western weapons at the territory of the Russian Federation. Okay? That's Germany saying they won't do it. Interesting, boys. That's very interesting. British pro-Palestine activist Fiona Lally confronts Zionist anchors during a talk show interview, courageously exposing the hypocrisy.
So you don't think people have the right to protest?
Not in that way, not in a violent way, not in a violent way.
I think really what this represents is the media.
Because you're quite young and you've got no idea what you're talking about,
right,
have
so
you?
the
You're
media
annoying me
and
already.
other people are doing everything they can to shut down people talking about
That's rubbish.
what's happening.
We've got you in here.
You've just done it now, you're speaking over me.
Well, we've actually got you here. We wouldn't even have you here if that was
Okay, sure. So what I'm saying is that the police and Suella Braverman and other people have tried very, very hard to clamp down down on the Palestine movement. And that's really what makes you angry. That's what makes other people angry, is the fact that actually the Palestine movement is growing, despite the fact that you and others keep trying to smear it.
But they attacked counter-protesters. We saw the Iranian guy. They attacked him, didn't they?
And it doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work anymore.
Sorry.
Very fucking nice. Did you see the reaction on these two people do? La 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 la. Palestinian academic and diplomat Dr. Faiz Sayek.
I must tell you that, in my conviction,
I don't know who this is,
terrorism,
but I think many people do.
Perpetrated by individuals and terrorism perpetrated by governments must be equally condemned. We cannot condemn terrorism by individuals and condone it when it's perpetrated by governments. When the Israeli Air Force shot down a Libyan civilian unarmed plane and killed 108 people, was that terrorism or was that not terrorism? I'm just unable to accept the one-sidedness in which when an individual commits a crime, we call him a terrorist, but when a government, which is supposed to act more responsibly and which has more means for creating bad crime at its disposal, when it commits that crime, we call it warfare, or we call it something else. Terrorism was brought into the Middle East by the Zionist Irgun and Stern and Polmach 25 years before there was Palestinian terrorism. There were hundreds of mistaken Palestinians who apparently believe if the Zionists traveled the path of terror and got away with it, then this is our shortcut to get our rights. I believe this is mistaken. But the greater mistake is that of the pioneer in terrorism in the area, namely Zionism, and not of those who are reacting a quarter of a century later.
Very good video, dude. You're right, Sean. Sticky, we saw that video 2 days ago. Very fun. Russia steps up covert sabotage campaign aimed at Europe. What? Russia is behind the arson attacks aimed at undermining support for Ukraine's war effort. The New York Times writes that the GRU is carrying out sabotage in Europe in order to sow panic and force them to strengthen security by slowing down the reducing arms sales to Ukraine. Also, the campaign is intended to show the existence of opposition to aid to Ukraine. In general, the publication hints that, of course, there is none, but there is simply Putin's hirelings. The article provides examples of sabotage: the arson of warehouse in England, houses in Latvia, a paint factory in Poland, an area store in Lithuania. Sometimes there is even attacks on American military bases. It would seem that these sabotages are random and unrelated, but journalists refute this, explaining that this is a whole campaign to discredit or slow down supplies to Ukraine from Europe. Lol, boys. Putin is everywhere like Hamas. I don't know what this video is doing. Russian border guards are already on their knees disbanding the navigation buoys installed by Estonia on the Narva River, which separates Russia and the dwarf country. A curious incident occurred. Russian border guards were caught on video in the process of removing navigation buoys. Why would they be doing this, boys? Something is going on here with Estonia, boys. I don't know. Maybe these buoys are there to like measure passing vessels or something. Like some sort of detection mechanism, you know? Hey, I. But where is the rest to? There's something else. Yeah, look. Yeah. What is this about? And now the most important thing, from 6 a.m. to 15 p.m. every minute Russians were firing from 6 to 12 artillery shells. Every minute without stopping. You may count the approximate total amount. And 5 guided bombs. Our forces also fired back approximately 25-35 mortar shells, 10-20 artillery shells, and 15-20 multi-rocket launch systems. That's about artillery shelling advantage. Thank God if they were not firing at us. All the artillery placed in Russia, they were firing everywhere and burning everything in villages, Volchansk forest. But we cannot fire back with US. Oh, that's... So I don't understand. So we cannot fire back with US and other supplied artillery from a safe distance. Lol, dude. But I thought they... Lol, dude. So Ukraine claims the rate of shelling in the Volchansk area of Kharkov. Ukraine can't fire back, dude. Sweden has allowed the use of Swedish weapons against targets on the territory of the Russian Federation, the country's Minister of Defense said. So Sweden has allowed it. Estonia has allowed it. But I don't think they have that many weapons from Sweden. Armchair Warlord. Oh, it's way more important that some $440 billion in direct monetary cost per CNN and 54,000 Russian KIA per million owner. We're looking at a price tag of some 8 million per Russian soldier killed in action. That's approximately 217 pounds of gold per scalp. Click like your price on the head, dude. We got clusters, Russia's cluster bombs. I'm not sure I want to show this one, dude, because but there we go. Here we go, boys. Russia clusters. On the first day or two, we should have killed 100,000 in Gaza. This is Israel being Israel. Publicly saying they should have killed 3 times as many, dude. In 7 times, or like 7,000, like faster pace or something.
היינו צריכים להרוג 100,000 עזתים. מחבלים. עזתים הם מחבלים, בועז. לא, אני לא מחפש...
That's terrorist, dude. Average, dude. So I got footage from the bombing in Rafah, which I won't show you. This is the bombing in Rafah. So horrific footage is unfolding of the Israeli massacre of displaced Palestinians, with missiles targeting the displaced camp at UNRWA site in Rafah, despite Israel claiming it a safe zone. Civil Defense of Al Jazeera, where we believe that the occupation army used internationally prohibited weapons to target the displaced in Rafah just by the size of the fires they erupted of the target site. Oh shit. I didn't even know that, dude. Displaced Palestinian families were burned alive as they slept in their displacement center barracks belonging to the UNRWA in Tal al-Sultan, Rafah. This area was acclaimed safe by Israel for Palestinians to move after forcibly being displaced from southern Rafah and Khan Yunis. As of now, the latest death toll stands at 35. I bet it's way more than that, though. Rescue efforts continue, with authorities affirming that the death toll will likely increase due to the extensive fire and destruction of the site. I'm not sure which weapons they used, dude, but it says illegal weapons, probably. I'm not sure why they say that. An Israeli journalist reposted a photo of Israeli soldiers setting fire to Palestinian housing in Gaza, clothing of the Israeli massacre in Rafah that burned hundreds of Palestinians while they slept in a displacement center. That's the average Israeli at this point, dude. A fan descends into the stadium with a Palestinian flag during a cricket match between Pakistan and Britain. Okay. I got a video here. I'm just gonna play the audio.
I just want to try to describe where we are exactly. We're currently in the northern western parts of Rafah. This is one of the makeshift tents camps that was made after the Palestinians were forced to evacuate from eastern parts of Rafah. And here, right behind us, is the UNRWA logistic base. All of this area was filled and packed with Palestinians that were forced to evacuate from several parts of the Gaza Strip. There are still families here, still in this area, even after the target, because they simply do not have any place to go and are 100% sure that wherever they go and wherever they evacuate, the Israeli airstrikes are going to chase them.
Der var Al Jazeera reporting. This is from Japan, boys. And Japan are doing like a sit-in to protest the ongoing genocide in Gaza. And it's very relevant that this is happening in Japan because Japan is an American vessel. That's why it's very relevant, boys. The globalist schemes on display. What's this?
Well, I wanted to bring to everybody's attention something that doesn't get much attention. And you've heard the term follow the money. So I looked up where did Follow the Money, I thought it was from a Tom Cruise movie, but it wasn't. It was from Watergate. And Follow the Money is what they did in Watergate, and we saw what happened. So my young staffer, who's very bright, and I see him over there, Adam Pack, followed the money. And the money is from the so-called
Viking, I think this is used of
Inflation Reduction Act. So in the name of green and environmental justice, there's over $40 billion that are going to be granted out through the EPA. So, with this great research that was done, what was discovered that in December, the EPA granted $50 million to an organization called Climate Justice Alliance. So we went to the website of Climate Justice Alliance. This is what we found on the website, that our taxpayer dollars are going to organizations such as this. This, at the bottom, is a picture of the bulldozer that went through the fence when Hamas attacked Israel on October the 7th. They have a rendering on their website. It says decolonize Palestine, and it has a picture of that same bulldozer going through that fence. If you dig deeper, they want to defund the police, defund the military, either them or their affiliates want to have very radical, drastic initiatives that I think are anti-American. And they're certainly anti-Israel and anti-Semitic. So the Biden administration doesn't seem to care. $50 million in December. Who knows how much more in the future, and other like groups, because there are other associated groups with this group. There's no inspector general for EPA to follow the money because they don't care. Because all they care about is the mission, the climate mission, no matter what the radical ideas that are associated with the groups. So then you could ask yourself, is this group really going to be funding climate, cleaning up the water and cleaning up the soil and cleaning up the air? Or are they going to be funding things like the protests they had in Hart just several weeks ago, where several of them were arrested? So follow the money. We're going to be doing that in the Environment and Public Works Committee. That's where the derivation of this was. And I find it rather startling to me that the EPA is not doing, and the administration are not doing any better research as to where our American taxpayer dollars are going.
You want a link to this? Soon. I didn't catch all of it, dude. On order to the taxpayers' money. This 1 month alone went to pro-terrorist groups disguised as climate change organization. What the shit, dude? Remember unelectable airways, he's like pro-this, dude. In other words, he's like pro-terrorist. Who? I follow some people I don't fucking know who. Yes, Sean. Yes, it was. So, some more footage from Rafah. I'm just gonna show you a brief blink of Rafah, boys. Okay. Israel bombs refugee camp in Rafah. Horrific images coming from Rafah tonight after Israeli airstrike struck IDP tents, triggering a huge fire. That happened yesterday, but they also did it today.
This is what is.
Okay. So Russia plans new offensive in Ukraine's northeast. Zelensky says. I'm not sure if he's talking about Sumy, dude. Is it? They can't. Surely they can't be talking about Kharkov. Moscow caught Ukraine by surprise on May 10th when its troops crossed the northeastern border, breaking through Ukrainian defenses and capturing border villages. This forced the government in Kiev urgently deploy reinforcement in an attempt to stop the Russian offensive. One target for the offensive could be Sumy region. Yeah. I think the target is not Sumy, but Kharkov. This is Israel celebrating the bombings. Look how they're being gleeful about the fire, dude. Israel celebrating the bombings and burnings of civilians. Where's Rangers, dude? Oh, there's just some bad apples in IDF. Look at this, dude. This is Israel celebrating the burnings of civilians. Stoltenberg said, if our NATO forces are directly involved in a conflict, if they attack Russian targets in the sky or on the ground in Ukraine, then we will be in a situation in which it will be very difficult to keep NATO out of the conflict. Okay, so if NATO attacks Russia, NATO can't be out of the conflict. What? What? That's what he's saying. Jens Stoltenberg is saying that if we attack Russia, then we can't be out of the conflict. Yeah, good point, dude. Good fucking point, dude. We got the US Navy nuclear-powered aircraft carrier US George Washington arriving in Rio de Janeiro. 5th generation F-35 lighting 2 fighter jets are visible on the deck. Lol, dude. Lol. That's an AWACS. That's an AWACS. I thought they was bigger, dude. They look so small in this. I thought these AWACS were huge, but they look the same size though. Look. Maybe it's not a fucking AWACS. Maybe it's not an AWACS though. Creation of Russian trench.
Я хочу стать строителем, потому что строители делают домы.
Look at this. What are they doing?
Они людям дают дом.
What are you doing here, Click Like?
И двери, диваны, шкафы, кровати, телевизоры, стеклы, балконы, печки, плита, стулья. Все они это строят.
Check that out. I think what did I not see this one? So it's this one, right? Click Lock. So finish them, America. Love Israel. Always. Nikki Haley. That's insane, dude. That's insane, dude.
We know that Russian intelligence was involved in helping Iran and Hamas do what they did.
Can you show us that, dude? Can you fucking prove it?
And I think that's very important that people know that. That this is, Russia's trying to play
how do we know that, dude? What did they do?
Both sides of the fence. They can't play both sides of the fence. Russian intelligence was used to learn about Israeli bases, to learn what had happened, all of those things. They need to be held accountable for their part in this.
Yeah, but what did they do? Just tell us what they fucking did, dude. Just tell us what they did. That would be so much easier. Held accountable for what? Oh, they were being bad, dude. Good, Salman, do it. Russia's successful demilitarization of NATO continues.
The Germans are supplying weapons to the Ukrainians at an alarming rate, although the German leader Scholz said that Germany has reached its full capabilities. They can't give any more. The last thing they've given was 10 Leopard tanks, 400 LED lamps, 16 fuel tankers, 400 lamps. What's that? Is that a military thing? 400 LED lamps. I can do that. I can order lamps on Alibaba or AliExpress and send them to somebody. It's not a big thing that Germans are bragging about. What does that tell you? That tells you that the Germans are indeed running out of everything. And Scholz has confirmed that Germany is out of weapons, but they still want to continue to get involved. They have nothing left. Similar to Denmark, they've got no artillery. Similar to the Baltic states, they've got nothing left. The Polish have lost most of their military. They've had to spend now billions of dollars buying new gear from South Korea. So Vladimir Putin set out to demilitarize Ukraine. And as a little bonus, he's actually ended up demilitarizing most of NATO. So the Russians... doing God's work, really. Demilitarizing NATO. And what has NATO done good for the world? Nothing that I believe.
True. Hey, 900, what's up, man? How are you doing? Wanna watch the Sun instrument get launched? Can you give me a notification when that is, 900? I have a lot of videos to get through. And I don't wanna, look at the preparation. Taiwan will get new weapons, unlike Ukraine.
Taiwan, unlike Ukraine, will be getting new weapon systems, not old ones, especially old Russian weapons. It will be a new stock to be supplied to Taiwan.
I thought they received new American weapons in Ukraine.
Some of our latest technologies, by the way, and I think the majority of that package being held up, most of that are the F-16s, projecting weakness. Projecting strength always prevails, and it stops war. And, not to micromanage situations.
That it stopped the war in Ukraine?
That often, sometimes in Ukraine, I think we've micromanaged it to the point, especially right now, they're on the border of Ukraine and Russia, and Ukrainians can't even fire back. Now, I think we'll get that one fixed. But I think it's important that everybody knows what the rules of the game are, but not to.
Pathetic, dude. Pathetic. That was aired on Ukraine in 60 Minutes, by the way. Very funny, dude. EU aims to salvage Ukrainian peace conference without Russia. So this is, we got, that's Crimea, Sevastopol, right? So I fucking keep forgetting. Is that, I fucking forget, dude. Is that Sevastopol? And is that Simferopol or something? I keep fucking forgetting. Click like. Sevastopol is here. Okay. That's Simferopol. Fine. You got the American reconnaissance going on near Crimea, which means they want to hit it, dude. Yeah, I keep forgetting. So, but obviously I should be able to fucking recognize it. Pole. Anna Baerbock said that she was incredibly hurt by Georgian government decision to block the dream of joining the EU with the law on foreign agents. Lol. We got Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez.
So thank you very much for your question. Let me
Let me say that from our side it's important to keep.
Ми вважаємо важливим
What he's saying is, from our point of view, it's important to maintain a certain degree of secrecy so that information does not reach Russia. Putin. Spain will send 1 Patriot and a few Leopards. Okay. Spain will, later as an update, Spain will send 19 mothballed Leopard 2 and 12 Patriot interceptor missiles. 12 missiles, dude. Ukraine allocates $11 million to the study of penguins in the Antarctic. There you go, boys. That's your money. Cleaning out the force belt. Oh, yeah. These look like these thermobaric weapons. Also, what are they called? These other fabs, dude. Click like. I forgot what they're called, dude. Not thermobaric, but the other one. Hey, Truth, what's up? Footage of a rocket that supposedly exploded in the air, published by Japanese media. An evacuation warning for Japan in Okinawa, following suspected North Korean missile launch has been lifted. What? Is this one exploding? Is this a North Korean missile exploding? What? Why did it lag like that, though? Did you see that just from one moment to another? But then it just disappear. Update. KCNA reported the unsuccessful launch of a DPRK reconnaissance satellite. Okay. BBC keeps trying to cover up crimes of the Israeli occupation army.
It's Monday, the 27th of May.
This is about the bombing of Rafah camps, right? So we got, this is the Telegraph. Civilians burned alive in melting tents.
Our main story, the Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza.
Hamas-run? Fuck off.
Says 35 people have been killed and dozens injured in an explosion at a refugee camp near Rafah.
Explosion? Who did it, dude?
The Israel Defense Force said it had carried out an airstrike targeting a compound where senior Hamas officials had gathered. It says it is now reviewing the incident after
senior Hamas, dude.
reports that civilians had also been harmed.
Well, our correspondent.
Senior Hamas, dude. Remember that Israel said that this place was safe, right? It was designated safe zone. Remember that. Last night, the IAF site carried out an intelligence-based precise strike that targeted senior Hamas terrorist in Tel al-Sultan. Contrary to Hamas lies or misinformation, the strike did not take place in al-Maswasi, humanitarian area. What? We have videos, dude. We have videos. We got hiding behind Puppet Kyiv. NATO tried to inflict strategic defeat on Russia.
On May 24th, the Ukrainian military launched drone strikes on the Voronezh DM strategic over-the-horizon long-range radar in Avamir in the Krasnodar region. The radar antennas were reportedly damaged. This facility has nothing to do with the ongoing military operations in Ukraine. Over-the-horizon long-range radar stations of the Voronezh type are part of the missile attack warning system aimed to detect the launch of ballistic nuclear missiles. This is an element of Russian strategic security space defense at great distances. It operates in a range of up to 6,000 kilometers and up to 8,000 kilometers in near space, simultaneously monitoring up to 500 different objects. The Voronezh DM in Avamir partially controls the territory towards the Indian Ocean, southern and central Europe, the Mediterranean Sea, North Africa, and the Middle East. On May 26th, there was another attack on the Russian missile warning system that ended in failure. An unidentified drone crashed in the Ironberg region. The incident occurred near the city of where another Voronezh M-type radar station is located nearby. It controls the sector from the Taklamakan Desert to the shores of the Mediterranean Sea. It was also revealed that the target of the attack on Crimea on May 23rd was the Center for Deep Space Communications involved in the management of the GLONASS satellite system. The facility, located near the city of Alyushta, was reportedly damaged by 4 US-made ATACMS missiles. Against this background, it is worth expecting attempts to disable another Russian Voronezh M-type radar station in the Leningrad region. In addition, by the end of 2024, the upgraded Voronezh radar station near Sevastopol should be put into operation. Despite attempts by some European leaders to hide their involvement in the escalation, such attacks are not an independent initiative of Kiev. They were launched by NATO military with NATO missiles with the reconnaissance support of NATO aircraft. Kiev is but a puppet, fulfilling the orders of the Western warmongers who are eager to inflict a strategic defeat on Moscow. These strikes took place after the launch of Russia's exercises with non-strategic nuclear weapons. NATO moved to a new level of escalation and responded with strikes against the Russian nuclear missile shield. Without timely detection and warning systems in Russia, an effective retaliatory nuclear strike against the United States and its satellites is impossible.
I'm doing okay, Flynn, thank you.
On the front lines in Ukraine, a defeated NATO is trying to overcome Moscow's nuclear argument in order to ensure the possibility of a preemptive, disarming massive strike against Russia. These are not random strikes, but rather a systematic attempt to weaken the Russian missile attack warning system, which is putting the world on the brink of nuclear war.
I talked about this in Discord with information I got from ClickLink. Very nerve-wracking, dude.
Many of the people, not all, many of the people who were involved in the Nazi atrocities were perfectly ordinary people. They were just like you. And you think, no, I wouldn't do that. It's like, that's not what the evidence suggests. The evidence suggests that the vast majority of people in Nazi Germany went along with it. And if you think you wouldn't have been one of them, that just means it's highly likely that you would have, because you have no idea what you're capable of. By the end of this, which took months, these guys were taking naked pregnant women out into the middle of fields and shooting them in the back of the head. And becoming violently ill because of doing so and tearing themselves into shreds internally, sick at heart, but doing it. And so what did I discover? Well, I discovered a lot of things. I discovered that the road to totalitarian hell and atrocity is paved with lies. Lies are the pathway to hell, really, practically and metaphysically.
Fuck that guy, dude. Fuck that guy. I wonder if this is a video. I think I saw this video a fucking long time ago, and I might have located it again. I was actually searching for this video not too long ago, and then it just appeared naturally. Are you ready? This is about dealing with tumor in the stomach.
Over 8 years.
So this is a very interesting video. I remember watching this fucking 20 years ago, dude. You got doctors humming or some shit like that, and then they're suppressing a tumor in the stomach, I believe.
The center has successfully treated more than 180 types of illnesses, including bladder cancer.
看到了没有？就是在这个膀胱三角处的左侧。
So I think that's the tumor you see right there.
和一个压壶，这么一个。
I think, okay.
法器，各位老师。
Priscilla? Priscilla, are you here?
人就想了一下就说你算数。
你放松，放松在这儿。
够听你
行了，站定，好，没了，再站定，没了，好，没了，上，消除上，没了，把场打破，没了，好了，没了，好了，不好意思，
能看出来，这是您。
几秒。
You're watching some doctors do some sort of audio exercise, operating they're a few. There are more than one doctor. They are touching the woman on the stomach, I believe, while doing some sort of briefing exercise. And then they're like filming inside the stomach. The tumor supposedly disappeared, though. It's very weird. You guys need to remember, we talked about this a few times ago, about the power of the observer. The power of the observer is illustrated in the slit-split experiment. Okay? That's why this video is so compelling, though. These people who were burned alive by Israel while trying to escape in displaced person tents, they were burned by Israel in a camp that was supposed to be safe, in this most brazen response to the decision of the highest international court. We got the launch of a KH-39 Lemur high-precision missile from a KA-52 helicopter. Yep. Was that it? No, surely not. What that is. Fucking birds and shit, though. Russia is doing fine, don't have them. Russia is doing fine. You can look at South Africa. You can look at Syria. You can look at Ukraine. They're doing absolutely fine. They're not even using that many resources in Ukraine. They're using like less than, was it 5% or something? Russia has not taken damage at all. Russia's economy is better than what it was before the war. You do realize that, right? That's according to the IMF. Yeah, Russia's economy is better. No, I think they will start cleaning random areas from terrorism, like they're doing in South Africa, getting rid of the terrorists, the Americans, the French. They're doing that in South Africa, and the South Africans has thanked the Russians for doing that. You can look at Nigeria, for instance. Same with Syria, get rid of the Americans too. Same with Iraq. Just get rid of the fucking Americans. The Minister of Finance of the Russian Federation introduced a package of amendments to the Cabinet of Ministers to improve the tax systems. It's proposed to introduce personal income tax deductions for citizens who's passing GTO standards, an annual medical examination. What? Click like, what does that mean though? We got the pier here, dude. It's floating. It's completely fucked. The pier got fucked before it got up, dude. Lol. How sad, dude. Yeah, Russia is actually benefiting from this financially. That is, though. We got Macron's wife and Schulz's wife. I'm not sure if you two can see like a common denominator here. But that's not the importance of this picture. These two. On the second day of Macron's state visit to Berlin, the two heads of state visited the Holocaust Memorial in the city center, where the first ladies of Germany and France laughed while walking to the ceremony in memory of the 6 million Jews killed by Nazi Germany during World War II. Alright? That's also the pier, dude, floating off. So, ideas, the UN scar statistics makes no sense. What? To reboot Hamas delegations by letting journalists see the war up close would be a calculated risk, even when conducted legally. War is ugly. It's possible to kill children legally. What? It's possible to kill children legally? No, it's not. There's no way you can kill a civilian legally. It's impossible. But the sight of a legally killed child is no less disturbing than the sight of a murdered one. You can't kill a child legally. This is some Maita level cope, dude. This is a Maita level cope, dude. Hiding behind Puppet Kiev, NATO tried to, we saw that, dude. I think Ukraine is the most democratic country in Europe.
Я вважаю, що ми найдемократичніша країна Європи. Одна з найдемократичніших, вибачте, одна з найдемократичніших країн Європи, яка не словами, а силою, зброєю і своїм життям це довела, не доводить, а довела всьому світу. І яку можна бажати країну після війни? Да ось таку країну, яка вона зараз. Ось така країна, яка вона зараз. Вона свободна. Безумовно, в час війни є ті чи інші обмеження щодо мобілізаційного віку, хлопців там, які не можуть виїхати за кордон тощо, є весь воєнний стан, є ще інші обмеження, тому що війна. Сама Росія обмежила нас. Тому що вона прийшла війною, а війна завжди несе втрати і обмеження. Це зрозуміло. Але ми хочемо жити в такій країні, як вона сьогодні у нас є.
Lol, dude. The eyes. So you guys are saying that if NATO never fucked around in Ukraine, there would never been a war. Yeah, that's what Jens Stoltenberg is saying. Jens Stoltenberg is saying that. Pravda, so we don't need to pretend. GTO stands for Ready for Work in Defense. It's a sports training program that is publicly available and includes a list of sports disciplines. So there's introduced a package of amendments to the cabinets of ministers to improve the tax systems. Proposed to introduce a personal income tax deduction. Okay. So if you are healthier, you get tax deductions. Yeah. I understand that. Very cool. Very cool. This is Chisinau Airport, Moldova. You got Ukrainian weapons being shipped into through Moldova through a civilian airport, which is a war crime. Chechnya was there was, if you look at this report, you'll see that America messed with Chechnya. And there's also a report that says that Chechnya attacked Russia. Yeah, exactly, Thomas. Exactly. Trained by America. Trained by America, though. Here they are again, like laughing at the million Jews, the 6 million Jews. Stoltenberg, unelected by people of Europe. Von der Leyen, unelected by people of Europe. Zelensky, unelected by people of Ukraine. 3 people driving us towards World War III in the name of democracy and freedom, neither of which adhere to it themselves. True. Who's the real aggressor? Pravda.
The United States has bombed all of the following countries since World War II. To begin, we do not have to travel far. In Central America, the United States has bombed Panama, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Grenada, the Dominican Republic, and Cuba. Moving across the ocean to Africa, we have Libya, Sudan, and Somalia. In Europe, the list consists of former Yugoslavian countries, namely Serbia, Bosnia, Kosovo, and Montenegro. Next is the Middle East. where the US dropped bombs on Yemen, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, Kuwait, Iran, Pakistan, and Afghanistan.
Jesus.
East Asia, we have Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, Indonesia, Japan, and Korea. Finally, during the bombardment of Belgrade, a few bombs hit the Chinese embassy.
That's fine.
I've included China to the list as well. This is how the completed map looks like.
I thought it was actually more than that, dude. Puerto Rico. I thought it was more, dude. Hundreds of demonstrators scattered in the streets of Tunis to protest Israel's Rafah operation. This is after the 10th strike. Toms, do you know that strike on the 10th? That's gonna cause more like UCLA stuff. Jesus, dude. Alright. NATO preparing nuclear strikes on Russian territory near the Russian border. Said head of the border service of the Russian Federal Security Service, Vladimir Kulishov. Okay. Okay. Click look. NATO is practicing nuclear strikes. Okay, they're practicing, not preparing. Sorry, I was just like, what? They're practicing nuclear strikes on the Russian territory. Alright. We got Americans here who were sickened by radiation at Area 52 and they were denied health benefits. Good night, Sam, and sleep well, man. Hundreds of veterans of the US Armed Forces have been sickened after being stationed at a top secret base in Nevada desert. But the confidential nature of the work has prevented them from receiving benefits from their health conditions. That's what you would expect, dude. The government has become completely comfortable with lying to us.
Intelligence dangerously.
This guy is lying too. I forgot his name, dude. Josh Howley. He's lying too.
Compromised, warned CIA and FBI whistleblowers. You're not the only one to report this, of course. But I was reading your report on it this morning. This is something that you have been warning about for quite some time, and the allegations stem from a whistleblower who has come forward to the House, a whistleblower from the Central Intelligence Agency. I have the letter, the relevant letter here from the House Oversight Committee. The whistleblower alleges that a CIA team was paid to change its assessment of the origins of COVID-19. Do I have that broadly correct? Is that your understanding of the report? Yes. This is obviously a bombshell report, deeply, deeply troubling. I'm glad that the House is going to look into it. We should look into it. What caught my attention is you point out in your article on this that the government has deliberately violated the COVID Origins Act, which this body passed unanimously, which the House passed, the President signed into law. Maybe he wasn't so happy about signing it into law, but he did. It is the law of the land, and which required that all of the government's intelligence on the origins of COVID be made public. Instead, what the administration did was offer up a summary, which they then in turn heavily redacted. And you point out that in addition, the administration refused to report the names of scientists who fell ill at the Wuhan Institute of Virology in 2019, despite the fact they know the names. The intelligence community knows the names. Now, you're absolutely right to say this is a violation of the COVID Origins Act, and I would know because I wrote it. So I'm not very happy about the fact that this administration continues to flout, completely ignore public law passed, again, unanimously by the United States Senate. For what end, I can't tell. I can't figure out why in the world. I don't know what partisan game there is to it. Why in the world they want to lie to the American people. You conclude your article by saying the government has become extremely comfortable with lying to us. Just explain what you mean by that and tell us why you think this is so significant.
Well, sure. And just on the very specific point of we were the first to identify the 3 people that contracted the coronavirus in China. They were the people working on gain-of-function research in the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
I'm not sure that's true. We saw there was an outbreak, I think it was in Italy, September 2019.
The Wall Street Journal confirmed our reporting 2 weeks later, and then I think it was 1 week after that or a few days after that, the ODNI report came out, and it did not reveal this information. And we had multiple sources, the Wall Street Journal. We have no idea if the Wall Street Journal sources were the same, but I think we're clearly seeing a lot of abuses of power occurring in multiple executive agencies. So we've seen it with the FBI. One of the things that we noted yesterday was that we saw perverse incentives in the FBI to go after so-called domestic violent extremism, pulling an agent off of things like child exploitation onto really hyping a set of cases that particularly appeared to be aimed at spreading disinformation around the idea that there is a significant increase of domestic extremism when we don't think that the evidence shows that. And now we see this report that came out that suggests that there's an FBI whistleblower who says that 6 of the 7 analysts had said it was a laboratory origin and that they had reversed their position in some exchange for some sort of a salary bonus or some sort of a financial incentive. So, and we've been, so we keep documenting it. We just keep finding agencies and agencies. DHS involved in trying to create a disinformation governance board. I keep, the censorship industrial complex, we just keep finding new parts of it. So in the research for this testimony, we discovered this Deep Trust Alliance that had, what appears to be ties to the security and intelligence agencies of the United States government, appears to be trying to set itself up, although it's now kind of ghosted after 2021, but it appeared to try to set itself up to decide what is reality and what are fakes for people, and I think it should have a chilling effect in that that's not how we do free speech in America. We don't have government agencies. We don't have cutouts or front groups that appear to have support from those agencies telling the American people what's true, what's false, or telling social media companies behind the scenes what they should be censoring.
And just to that last point, we now know, thanks to the case Missouri versus Biden, that that's exactly what this administration, from the White House to the FBI.
It seems like just misinformation and bullshit, boys. I don't want to play like this to the end. It seems like purposefully spreading misinformation. Yeah, exactly, Uppsala. Exactly. That seems like obviously misinformation, dude. And it also seems very scripted, dude. That's not binding. And going through that too much, too. I want to... Okay. Moving on. The Russian drone plant that could shape the war in Ukraine. A satellite image of a drone manufacturing site in the Alabuga Special Economic Zone in Russia. Maxa, so this is Maxa, that's a civilian satellite system, but it doesn't look that civilian anymore, dude. Russia's Alabuga drone factory in Tatarstan plans to produce 6,000 Geranium-type strike UAVs per year. I think that's too low, dude. I think it's more... The plant uses Iranian technology. Well, it uses Iranian IP. In late April, the plant was ahead of schedule, delivering 4,500 of these drones to the Russian army. The company also produced Albatros reconnaissance drones that reconnaissance, what? I don't know. That reconnaissance AFU positions and movements on the front lines. Protesters unhappy with the country's new law and foreign agents holding US and EU flags continue to strike in Georgia. Toms, they haven't given up, dude. The NGOs have not given up. Get fucked, America. They just lost Georgia, dude. Pick up, brother.
Good morning. We had important discussions about Ukraine yesterday at the Foreign Affairs Council. Today we will continue on the defense ministers. Together with the defense ministers, we will receive a visit from Jens Stoltenberg, Secretary General of NATO, who has been doing important announcements on the last days. And also we will get in touch with Minister Umerov, the defense minister of Ukraine.
That guy Umerov have always been super suspicious to me because he's been around Zelensky, I don't know, like super attached to him, almost like Zelensky had no room without him. So he's always been like super suspicious to me.
You know that the situation in the battlefield is reaching a critical stage. It's not a secret. Russia has opened a new front in the north and fighting, trying to advance towards Kharkiv.
Could you imagine if that was a secret, dude? Why would that be a secret?
And at the same time, bombing systematically civilian targets. Not
Can you give us an example? Well, what bomb civilian targets were, dude?
Not only in Kharkiv, but also in direction of Kiev. This situation
We're talking about the mall with the secondary detonation. That's despicable people, dude.
makes our military assistance still more important, crucial, critical.
If Russia is bombing civilian targets, wouldn't the UN or the ICJ or something look into it?
It can make the difference. And that's why today with the defense ministers we'll see how we push for overcome all the difficulties that prevents us from mobilizing fully and quicker the resources of the European Peace Facility. We have 7 legal acts pending of approval in order to mobilize about 6.7, 6.9 billion euros, apart from the revenues coming from the frozen assets, apart from that. For that, we haven't still discussed the legal acts that could make us ready to use these funds once we get it. But by the fund we already have, there are 7 legal acts that are still pending to be approved. Everybody knows what Ukraine needs. Yesterday, the Ministers for Foreign Affairs, and I suppose today Minister Umerov will remind us which are the critical needs for the Ukrainians. So we have to provide them. And we have the resources. That's the...
You have the resources, dude. Europe is undergoing deindustrialization. Also, how this resource is fucking helping. This is a Ukrainian, a homemade weapon, but it has some issues, dude. So it's a robotic complex on 4-wheel chassis with a KPVT machine gun. How this will be used practically is unknown because the machine gun's recoils begin to stupidly roll back. So I think Ukraine tried to copy what Russia is doing, but just didn't succeed to do so, dude. Did you send something like I pinged you an excerpt from an article by the Wall Street Journal, which said that thousands of young African women were brought to the Russian Federation to assemble drones in Alabuga. I think these pictures of Maxa and the article in VSJ are part of something bigger. That's because they want to attack that fucking place. Click look, they want to do something. I think you're right. So where are you, dude? Why can't I find you? You didn't send something in Telegram. Hey, pizza. But I think you're right, Clicklong. They're doing something with that fucking factory. You didn't send something in Telegram, Clicklong. Are you sure that is? Yeah. Is it this one? Oh shit, you sent it earlier, dude. Let's see. Wall Street Journal. More than 1,000 young African women were brought to Russia to assemble military drones. They are paid $1,000 and they come to Russian Federation under the work-study program. During recruitment, agitators focus on anti-colonial politics. Lol. I think you're right, Click Looking. Something is up, dude. They're going to attack that factory. They're going to attack that factory, dude. Putin. There is Article 111 of the Constitution of Ukraine, which says that the powers of the supreme powers are transferred to the Speaker of Parliament, especially since under martial law, the powers of Parliament are extended. Putin. So Zelensky is no longer in charge, dude. At this core, Ukrainian statehood is based on the idea of not a presidential, but parliamentary republic. It is quite logical that the Constitution itself and its legal act that were adopted on the basis are structured this way. According to preliminary assessments, the only legitimate government in Ukraine is the parliament and the Speaker of the Rada. Representatives of NATO countries must be aware of what they are playing with. Putin, on the calls of NATO countries, to hit the territory of the Russian Federation. We know well that there can be an armed mercenaries in Ukraine. Who maintains precision range weapons? The same instructors disguised as mercenaries. They are there, but it has become more difficult to hide them, Putin said. We will still do as we see fit regardless of who is on the territory of Ukraine. Ukraine is unable to turn the situation around on the battlefield, and the more attempts they make, the more losses they will have. It's contingent of European countries come along with the Poles. Others will leave, the Poles will never. Okay? We got more shit from Taiwan, dude. This is the replacement for Syria. Soft power in action, heartwarming to see how Americans have one grown that both can share goofy moments together. Yeah, look like fucking idiots too. An IDF tank accidentally fired upon an Egyptian observation post near Gaza, injuring 2, and one of them is in a critical condition. It's not the first time that happens, boys. Hey, Chester. We got Ahmed Abu Darabi from Rafah describes the ongoing bombardment genocide.
أنا حاليا في رفح قصف الإبادة الجماعية التهجير كله ما زال موجود إلى الآن. الإبادة ما زالت مستمرة، التهجير ما زال مستمر. نازحت أكثر من 8 مرات. الأوضاع كتير سيئة، كتير معقدة. بحكي لك إنه على صعيدنا راح نعيش بسلام وهدوء. الضراب النفسي والتعب النفسي اللي شفناه بالحياة راح يأثر علينا لقدام مستقبلا، سواء إلنا أو على صعيد الأطفال أو على صعيد النساء. أماكن غير آمنة، ما في أي شيء آمن حتى الآن.
He's right. Chester, we understand the issue quite nice, dude. You got American NGOs in Georgia. These American NGOs are influencing politicians, the media. They're buying up the media and buying the politicians. The parliament in Georgia is trying to implement a foreign agents law, which they've been doing for over a year. They tried a year ago. But the American NGOs in Georgia paid protesters to go out and protest. Okay? So it didn't pass. The president of Georgia is pro-American. So he's trying to prevent it from passing. And this foreign agents law is about identifying foreign NGOs as a foreign NGO. It's quite normal. Most countries have this. Right? So no ordinary person would protest this. No person would fucking protest this unless they're paid. Right? This is not pro-EU. This is not pro-American. It's anti-Georgia. Right? That's what it is. You got Ukrainian agitators there. You got Americans there. You got Brits there. You got paid actors there. Okay? But now it has passed a 3-stage phase. And they vetoed the rejection of the president. And they're desperately trying to create a Maidan 2.0 in Georgia. But they're not succeeding because there's no right wing in Georgia. Yeah, exactly, Uppsala. We know it all, Chester, dude. You're the only channel on Twitter that knows it all. Today, there was an Israeli airstrike on tents and displaced Palestinians in Rafah. So I'm very nervous. I can't show this video. Bodies everywhere. Women, children everywhere, dude. That happened today. Same here. Over 20 Palestinians were killed by Israeli airstrikes. It happened again today, dude. Then we got the Houthis attacking another ship. Nice one, Houthis. Boop. Is it singing, dude? That's the old one. Baby on board, dude. Arm guard on board. Arm guard on board. What is that, dude? Look. Compiled by Bloomberg shows that LAX was approaching the Bab al-Mandab Strait. During the attack, the ship is currently broadcasting arm guard on board as its destination, possibly in an apparent attempt to prevent boarding. Armed guards on board. I see, dude. Lol. It didn't do shit, dude. Get fucked. Western business backtrack on the Russian exit plans. Damn it. I think they should leave, dude. Foreign companies have changed their minds about leaving Russia. Enterprises that plan to leave Russia amid sanctions began to change their point of view. Oh no. Zelensky in Belgium.
Але ти не можеш їм відповісти. Мені здається, це несправедливо. Тому, але ми не можемо, і це факт, ризикувати підтримкою партнерів, і тому ми не використовуємо зброю партнерів по території Російської Федерації. І звертаємось, дайте нам можливість відбивати відповідні удари по їх військовим.
What he said is, he's begging for permission to strike Russia. That's it. No, but the sanctions were there to separate Europe from Russia. That's it. That's the only thing the sanctions were aimed to do. And they did do that. The sanctions worked exactly as they were supposed to. I'm getting a network error on Twitch. Are you guys getting any else? Good shot. Must be my local end, dude. When I try to, maybe I close it. So try. But the sanction, as I said, they worked exactly as intended. They separated Europe from Russia. So with multipolarity, Russia would not have Europe. China would not have Europe. The West would have Europe. I don't know why I'm talking with this dude. Fucking weird. Biden.
To defend our independence, to preserve our union, to defeat fascism, built powerful alliances, forged in fires of 2 world wars. Members of the greatest generation, who 80 years ago next week took to the beaches of Normandy and liberated a continent and literally saved the world.
А кто Берлин-то взял штурмом? Американцы, что ли? Англичане или французы? Красная армия. Подзабыли?
I don't understand why I'm getting a fucking network. What did Putin say? Russian missile strike turned Ukrainian medal ceremony into a bloodbath. Well, I'm not sure. This is very. I'm sure this is gonna turn into some Palestine stuff. No, it's not. Okay. Russian strike turned Ukrainian medal ceremony into a bloodbath. Okay. Despite the appalling scenes from last night, Israeli ground forces still appear to be acting somewhat cautiously as they edge closer to the city of Rafah itself. The operation so far had not resulted in a bloodbath. What? It's going a bit, Sam. I don't fucking understand this. This is so weird, dude. Yep, there we go. It's working. Never mind, dude. I don't know what the fuck that was. Hundreds of activists marched today outside Israel Elbit System Arms Factory, UAV engines, in Shenstone, England, demanding its immediate closure. I think the British, didn't they manage to close some of these? I think there was something, dude. I like it when we have old folks and young folks doing, not just young folks.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Mana reports. Thank you for the raid. Thank you so much. How's your stream? Mana reports, we're gonna do a debate at some point. I just need to be ready. Thank you, Mana reports. What is this, boys? We got this guy. Trump supporter criticized Robert De Niro outside the courthouse. Trump supporter.
You are gangsters! You are gangsters! Fuck you! You're a softie! You're a nobody! Your movies suck! You're trash! You're done after this guy!
These celebrities have a habit of selling themselves out, dude. Remember, some of them said that the people who didn't take the COVID shot should get in prison or some shit, dude. Completely fucking unhinged. And obviously they were like exposed as Zionists as well, dude. Ukraine and Belgium entered into an agreement of security guarantees. The documents provide for 977 million euros in military assistance, as well as Belgium's commitment to support Ukraine for 10 years. Is it even legal for Belgium to sign such an agreement, dude? They all like that, dude. I don't care about their movies. They all like that. Biden.
Are you ready to choose freedom over democracy? Because that's America.
Don't do it. Vote for Trump. Excuse me, vote for Biden. My name is Joe Kennedy.
I'm Carrie Kennedy.
Troy Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy Townsend.
Chris Kennedy. And I'm here to proudly endorse Joe Biden.
I never thought I'd see a time when I'm going through a neighborhood or a rural town in the West and see big signs that have a Trump sign in the middle that says F. Biden. And having a little kid standing with his middle finger, 7 years old, 8 years old. Well, I promise it happens all the time. 7 years old, 8 years old. Well, I promise it happens all the time.
Agenda. He is the most anti-democratic president in American history.
That's like your resting expression, dude.
Outrageous lies and behavior would have horrified
He's falling asleep, that one.
Robert F. Kennedy, who proudly
All of these AFKs, are they like super nuts, dude?
and honored his pledge to uphold the law and protect the country. Everybody to come and vote. Vote for President Biden. If you vote for somebody else, that's a vote for Trump. Don't do that. Vote for Biden.
1.5 and 2 EU countries has confirmed that they're ready to lift restrictions on Ukraine strikes and weapons to Russian territory. The rest is speculating.
And secondly,
about what?
Should I repeat?
No, yes, repeat your question. How many countries?
How many countries dropped their veto on the use of the military equipment they sent to Ukraine? Just to give us a sense of where the discussion is going. 2 countries, 3 countries, 4 countries, 1 country. You know, if you could say that. Secondly, pretty harsh words today from the Kremlin. Putin said that Stoltenberg, he remembered when Stoltenberg was not deranged, and he implies that his remarks in these days were crazy. So you said similar things, so be aware. But what I'm going to ask you is, do you think that this is hitting the spot? Russia is afraid that these weapons could be used against their military positions, and this is a real threat for them. Do you think that this is the reason why they are getting worried?
How many countries has already agreed on the arms they provide to Ukraine could be used targeting objectives in the Russian territories? 1.5? 2? To tell the truth, I couldn't say that. I couldn't say the number. Some explicitly said, I am going to lift this limitation. Others have said that, but not in such a clear way. Others said, well, yes, but let me think about it. So I cannot say this is the number.
Wow, it sounds like they're being pushed or asked to do so, dude.
They agree or not. In any case, the number will change. Look, 1 week ago or 1 month ago, people didn't want to call for the association council with Israel. And
It's not like this is coming out like as an organic internal political direction. Right. This is Paris. In support of Palestine, boys. So we got new protests arriving all over the planet because of Rafah and the bombs on the tents that happened the last 2 days. It's good and bad, you know. Thank you for being here, Absalom. Have a nice evening. Ireland hoisted the Palestinian flag. Nice. Wait, is that you, Crop? Funny. Boys, I just reached the end of my queue. Which it's been like 7 days since I've done that. So I'm just gonna check if there's any like new stuff. What's the time? It's 10:40. You know what? It's been so warm here that I had issues sleeping, dude. And it's really been bothering me. It's really been fucking annoying, honestly. I'm gonna show you a video while I queue stuff up. I need to go and refresh what we have, okay?
Welcome.
While we do that, I'm gonna show you the video.